Impressive. Hurry up and cage the wild bull. Look, he's losing his grip. Even in his swordplay, he's getting sloppy. If he keeps progressing like this, he's going to get himself killed. Kranya, Solin, they're dead, but we still have a glut of enemies. We still have to take down the Death Knight and the Flame Emperor. Our next battle is fast approaching. I'm ready for it.
Professor, please. If he hears it from you that he needs to rest, perhaps His Highness will listen.
He's exaggerating. He thinks my color is off and that rest will cure all. I have a headache, but that's just from lack of sleep. It's not going to stop me from completing this month's mission.
I must insist.
Who do you think you are? I can take care of myself to do.
Say, in town earlier, there seemed to be more people around than usual. Is there some festival this month that I'm forgetting about?
You look so different. You're still our professor in there, right? Did anything else change besides your hair and eyes? Are your arms bigger? How do your abs look? That's disappointing. What's even the point?
Okay. So hungry. Oh, is that you, Professor? Sorry. I'm really not feeling well this month. Even leaving my room for dinner is just too much. It's got nothing to do with your, changes. So, don't open the door, please.
So, this month's mission is to take part in a ritual at the Holy Tomb, where you will receive a revelation from the goddess herself. What if she really appears? What if I finally get to gaze upon her radiance? I've always imagined the goddess. How beautiful she must be.
I can't even imagine what it must be like inside the Holy Tomb. I guess you're right. Holy or not, all graves are kind of the same, aren't they? I can't help but wonder, though, just what kind of ritual is this?
Hey! Professor! In Bridget, we have legends. Stories containing people who have a spirit living inside of them. Those spirit people have much strength. They are maybe able to fly in the air or race across the ocean. Hair that shines and eyes that glow. They have qualities that are not unlike what you are looking like, Professor. Are you knowing that for certain? Maybe you will have wings grow and soar through the sky.
Oh. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Although, I suppose, you are something to report. For a moment, I thought you were someone suspicious. Lucky for you, I am quite perceptive. It took only that single moment for me to recognize you. The Professor went out and got some new power.
Maybe.
You've been granted this power by the goddess herself. Truly, you must be a very special individual. Maybe Saros transformed before receiving her revelation too.
I haven't heard
heard anything about that before. Maybe that part never found its way into the legend?
It is told that Ceros had a revelation, instructing her to use her power for good, and to lead the people of Fodlan to salvation. I wonder what sort of revelation you might have, Professor.
Oh.
You there! I recently had an errand to run, and so I had to pass by the office. I didn't mean to, but I overheard Lady Rhea and Sedith arguing. Actually, it was more like Sedith was interrogating Lady Rhea.
People who live an inordinately long time, people whose hair changes color, and those odd heroes' relics. Is Fodlan some mystical land full of inhuman creatures? You should see for yourself. I'd recommend exploring west of the Empire.
Oh!
Let me consider. Sometimes, I find myself thinking I should leave Garreg Mach and return to my home, where I should have been all along. Ignore me. I'm sorry. It's a silly thing. An old man's ramblings and nothing more. I hear that Lady Rhea will accompany you for this month's task. She's the pillar that supports the hearts of Fodlan's people. Her safety is paramount. I hope there are no complications.
Monica, no, Kranya. Kranya is dead. And so is Solon, by your hand.
Taking vengeance with your own hand. I'm sure Gerald would be proud.
What? When you changed, even the other professors were taken completely by surprise. There's a ritual at the Holy Tomb this month, isn't there? I wonder what'll happen with that. I'm sure you'll be all right, but don't lose sight of who you really are, okay? However you may change, and whatever new power goes along with those changes, you'll still be the same person deep down. Remember that.
In our battle last month, we really cut the enemy down to size. But there are other enemies we have yet to hunt down, not least the Flame Emperor. Once we've crushed them all, we can return to our peaceful lives at the monastery. It will happen soon. I have a feeling something big is coming.
What?
Right.
Professor. How are you doing, Professor? Would you care to join me for a cup of tea? It occurs to me that whenever we chat, I have a tendency to pester you with my questions and theories about your history. It seems only fair to speak on the topic of myself for once. And perhaps you might feel more positively inclined toward my research if I shared my own story. I am quite pleased to hear you're interested. Yes, quite pleased. Well, I suppose I should begin at the beginning, eh? I was born into a noble house of the Empire. Not a large house, mind you, but noble all the same. Our land holdings were small, but our bloodline was quite strong. So, as you can imagine, there were many of us in the family who carried the power of crests. I myself bear a minor crest. Our family's abundance of crests may be part of the reason I've been interested in the topic since I was just a boy. I dedicated myself to my studies, and after years of effort, I became lead crest scholar at the Empire's largest research institution. I had only Imperial blood, and thus Imperial crests, at my disposal in the Empire. So I came to Garreg Mach and devoted myself to my research during my time as a professor. My progress is slow, but with each revelation, I move ever closer to the answers I have sought for decades. Your cooperation as the bearer of the Crest of Flames ensures my research will continue to advance. In fact, it may bring me ever closer to the goal of uncovering everything there is to know about crests. I do hope you shall continue helping me advance in this field of study. Together, we will solve the mystery of your crest of flames, and our world will be the better for it. Shall we proceed? My lab instruments are fully prepared. I have a great number of tests I'm excited to carry out. No, don't worry. They won't hurt one bit.
When I first saw you, Professor, with that hair color and that eye color, I thought you looked kind of like Lady Rhea. Like maybe you could be related. I like the way it looks. I wonder if I could change my hair color too. Maybe if I tried hard enough. If I thought real hard about it, I mean. I might not need to, but I still wanna.
Okay.
I swear, it's like you're an entirely different person. I guess you're right. If I look hard, I can still tell it's you.
How are you, Professor? Did Hanneman make his "I will do no harm" speech or promise this won't hurt a bit when he asked to study you? Both? I've a bit of research I'd like to perform. Nothing so crass as Hanneman's poking, prodding, and drawing of blood. No, I wish to investigate crest power itself. Crest power must have some kind of limit, right? Lady Rhea says any limits must be the protection of the goddess, but that doesn't quite answer it for me.
Long ago, Saint Seros was gifted with a divine revelation from the goddess, as well as incredible power. Is that what happened to you too, Professor?
No way! The professor transformed before receiving any kind of divine revelation, right? Still, I wonder, does the fact that you've changed really mean you've been granted some kind of power?
If that's the case, then what sort of revelation can be gained from the ritual?
I'm guessing the revelation will just be a gentle reminder to use this new power to save the people of Fodlan. What else is there to say? You don't actually believe we're going to hear the voice of the goddess, do you?
Huh? Hey there. Those students of yours will soon graduate and become unreachable royalty and nobility. You should show them respect now, or you might find yourself out of a job someday. No. One look at your students' faces, and it's apparent that would never happen. Even when your kids graduate, I bet they'll still think fondly of you. You'll always be professor to them.
You're so strong now. I'm starting to understand why you were appointed professor. I thought I was stronger, but I still have such a long way to go. Oh, I will. I still plan on beating you someday.
My cooking is so...
Right. I do so...
Oh.
Deal.
Hey, Professor. You seem...
different. Lots of things seem different around here lately. I've noticed it. Have you? Hey, how about a favor? Hey, how about a favor? Your hair! And your eyes! What happened to you? You didn't lose something as a consequence of gaining these powers, did you? Sometimes our frail bodies don't do well with excess power, so don't push yourself too hard.
Sorry? Edelgard and Hubert have been busier than usual. Constantly coming and going, in and out of Garreg Mach. Perhaps they are doing something in the Empire. As the legitimate heir of the Eyre family, I have not heard anything about it. But if it were significant, I am sure my father would have told me.
Hey, Teach, is it okay for you to be out on your own right now? Just please be careful not to topple over again. You scared us nearly to death. Anyway, doesn't Rhea want something from you? Sounds important. I'm glad I'll be there to witness the ritual at the Holy Tomb. I want to see whether or not something happens with my own eyes.
That reminds me, all things considered, this year has been rather terrible. As far as the students are concerned, next month is the last one of the school year. Next month, we will hold the graduation ceremony, though it'll be an understandably subdued affair. This month, we ask that you carry out your duties as best you can to ensure that our students remain calm.
To be honest, I cannot keep up with all that's been happening. Monica was actually Kranya. Tomas was actually Solon. Who were these people? What about you, Professor? You are a true ally, yes? Pull yourself together. It is still your duty to lead us, is it not?
Really? Hey. The Holy Tomb, huh? I've worked here for years, and this is the first I've heard of it. I mean, it does make some sense. Sort of. Something about it is still weird. I understand now why they'd build the monastery in the mountainous center of Fodlan. Although, when the monastery was built, the Kingdom and Alliance weren't even around yet. But look how cleverly it was placed, right in the middle of the Empire, Kingdom, and Alliance. That's weird, right? Hello, Professor. I know that look in your eye. You want to ask me a favor. You want me to help out with your class, right? You just say the word, and I'll help however I can. Don't worry about it. You're just starting out as a teacher, right? It's only natural for those of us with more experience to help the younger generation.
Recently, Professor, I feel as though you've been a bit distant. It's like you're sort of floating above the clouds, separate from other people. And like you've got no interest at all in ever coming back down. How can I help? Hey, don't worry. I thought maybe I'd ask and see what you'd say.
Hey.
Well...
Professor, are you positive? Really? Your appearance is due to the influence of the crest of flames? Intriguing. Unfortunately, I have found no record of Nemesis's hair and eye color ever changing. However, if that transformation was brought on in part by the power of the crest, that would be most, well, I suppose interesting is too small a word. Still, it would be an absolutely exceptional discovery. To know for certain, we must investigate further. So, close off. What? A full physical is in order, yes? We need to know if this transformation affected you adversely. Don't worry, it won't hurt a bit. Professor, I've been watching your class activities, and I wondered if you might desire my help. Just say the word, and I'll pitch in. Of course, I have to be truthful. It's all just a ploy to make it easier to research your crest. Feel free to call on me anytime. I'll be happy to lend a hand. And then you can help out with my class, too. It's a joke, Professor. I'd never put a burden on you, a first-year teacher.
Professor, I am so happy. Your new hair and eye color suit you well. We make quite the pair. But recently, I sense that things are a bit strained between Lady Rhea and my brother. She wants to do something at the Holy Tomb. I do not know what, but... whenever it has concluded, I hope they will return to their friendship, as it has always been.
Captain. Oh, Professor. How long have you been standing there? I didn't see you. I was just sorting through Captain Gerald's belongings. I haven't made much progress. I keep finding things that bring back memories. Clearing out this room of his belongings again, it's not easy. Oh, Professor. Anything I can help you with, I will do whatever I can to serve you. Excellent. Leave it to me, no matter how small the task is. I vowed to Gerald I would help you.
Excuse me. You haven't a thing to worry about. You have been gifted the power of the goddess. Furthermore, you have overcome the death of your father, Gerald, and you have destroyed countless of our wicked foes. I am proud, so very proud of who you have become. Once we finish the ritual at the Holy Tomb, all will be well.
It is you. I am sorry, but I have a lot on my mind. I would prefer to be alone right now.
Whoa. I get it.
Got a shady offer from somebody well-dressed. Noble's lapdog, probably. There was a big sack of coin on offer, but not a lot of real info about the job. It seemed suspicious, so I turned it down. Now I wonder if that was a mistake.
What do you require? Now let me see. Ah yes, this one's growth is going... Now let me see. I see this one has gained some experience. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their... Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud... Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be... Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. I see this one has gained some experience. Now let me see.
Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their... Fare thee well.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. You look different. And you're acting different. You're just all around different. Shaking things up, are we? I think that's great. Gotta keep things interesting, right? For what it's worth, it's a good look, and you wear it well.
Gimpy! Hey pal, how you holding up? The human body is strong, but we all have our limits. Even folks who fraternize with the goddess. How was she, by the way? A real knockout, yeah? Really? Huh, that's a letdown. Well, in any case, we have our work cut out for us. No telling what they're planning next.
My word. It seems that the rumors of you receiving the goddess's power were true.
But you're still you, obviously. Good. It would be a shame if you changed into someone I didn't like.
It's clear to me, at least, that you are something more than you were. Something special.
Yeah. I just hope this newfound specialness doesn't spell trouble for the rest of us.
Huh? Look at you! Listen, all sorts of folks wind up in this place for all sorts of reasons. Nobody's judging. Whatever happened to you doesn't make one bit of difference to any of these people.
Things certainly have changed lately. Not that I mind. Or perhaps the only thing that's different is how you look. Or has your personality changed too? Is that so? You're not a great liar, you know. Well, whatever the case, I still like you just the same as I always have.
Say.
Naturally.
You can't compete with me. Magnificent. Magnificent. Naturally.
that smell.
My favorite. Hey, Claude. Care to pick up where we left off? I got some time to kill.
You'll have to kill time on your own, I'm afraid. My calendar's full at the moment.
Ah, don't be like that. You're not afraid I'm gonna expose your true identity, are you? I would never. Besides, my own bloodline isn't so lofty that I can get away with something like that.
I bet your father would just love to hear you say that. And the Albrecht family is from a distinguished noble house, so I'm not sure what you mean.
Not as distinguished as you would think. And my mom wasn't born a noble.
Ah, the plot thickens. So, your mother was a commoner then?
In a sense, but it's complicated. Listen up, and I'll tell you a little story. You know Kupala, yeah? Those folks have been living in the mountains of Fodlan's throat for ages.
I know it well. Tales of that place were carried on the wind to where I grew up. Here's my favorite. In a land surrounded by tall mountains, untouched by civilization, lies a hidden village. The people who live there, the mystical Kupala tribe. They say that an ancient and powerful bloodline runs through their veins to this very day. Don't try to find them, people say, or you're liable to get hexed. Or so the tale goes. That part was probably added to spice up the story a bit, but even so, they're certainly a mysterious lot.
They don't leave their homeland too often, so it's only natural that strange rumors would arise.
And your mother, is she really some kind of Kupala princess or something?
Not a princess, but she was born and raised there. She left, got lost, and was rescued. By my dad. Ah, he fell head over heels for her. Made her his wife. That's when her troubles really started.
Did your father tell anyone where she was from?
Of course not. But it didn't matter. She was still a stranger of questionable lineage. The family treated her horribly. That eventually led to them splitting up and my dad remarrying.
That's not an uncommon circumstance for a noble house. Where is she now?
With nowhere else to turn, she went back to Kupala, even though my pops tried to convince her to stay.
I'm guessing you two left for much the same reason. Too hard to put up with the foul treatment, right?
That's part of it. If my mom had been Fodlan nobility, my life would have been very different. So, what do you think? Did I drum up some empathy? After all, half of your blood comes from...
I hear you, Balthus. Can't say I don't empathize, though our circumstances are pretty different.
So you admit it then! I knew I was right about you. My instincts are second to none.
Your instincts, right. Look, if it makes you happy, you just go on believing whatever you want.
I'll do just that. Say, Claude, it'd be a shame if your true identity was exposed, yeah? A real shame. I'm thinking you better... set up a meeting between me and your mom? She was my first crush, after all. I had it bad for her back in the day. I'm still haunted by the fact that I never had the chance to tell her.
That's bothersome. And that aside, you do know that time didn't exactly stop for her, right?
Not a problem, pal. Age is beauty.
Learning.
There's someone who's... Hey there, Petra.
Claude? Where are you?
Where else? Wait, I'll meet you down there.
Claude! I thought you were not able to climb the trees.
True, and that is exactly why I worked like a madman to devise a new climbing technique.
I have much admiration for that. To climb is a skill with value.
What can I say? Okay, so I may have cheated a little. by using my bow to shoot a rope over a branch, or a few branches, or all of the branches. But once I got up there and hauled up the ropes, it was the same result as if I'd climbed it your way.
I am understanding. That costs more time though, so it is not the best thing for hunting. But you are not harming the tree, so that is an advantage. I am liking this technique.
You're right. I didn't harm the tree at all. I'm surprised that impressed you.
The tree has a spirit. If you hurt the tree, you will give its spirit anger.
I see. I take it the people of Bridget have a close relationship with nature, then?
Trees give us food and also shelter. We are needing them, and they are needing us.
True. The people of Fodlan believe everything is a blessing from the goddess. They've forgotten to be grateful to nature, too. Nature gives us life, sustains us. Without it, we couldn't breathe, couldn't live. It's everything. It's fine to pray to the goddess, but we have to respect nature, too. Don't you think?
Yes. I do not know this goddess, but I know nature. That is the knowing I prefer to have.
You and me both.
That...
Cap...
Yummy!
As a...
Eating...
This food is a revelation. I can't help but smile when I eat it.
This is my absolute favorite. How did you know, Professor?
Oh.
Hi. Good deal. Hey, Lots! Hey, Professor. Fancy meeting you here. I've got a business, I've got something I want to chat with you about. I know you're busy with a lot of things, but I was wondering if I might be able to join you. Heck, I won't even charge you for my aid. What say you? It's a killer deal. Thank you. Now I'll have plenty
plenty of time to get to know my clients better. A merchant needs to know the inner workings of everyone they come in contact with. Helps with the making of the monies, you know.
Oh my, Ignaz. You're in a hurry. Is something the matter?
The professor wants us to gather at the training grounds. Didn't you hear?
Of course I did. I'll head over in a bit.
Are you sure you want to wait? I can hear the professor calling.
We're not needed until after the lunch hour. We have plenty of time.
Oh, I guess so. I was just panicking a bit. I wish I could be calm like you. How are you so unflappable?
Well, rushing around doesn't help, does it? I mostly try to stay out of everyone's way. There's no point in overexerting yourself. Anything that needs doing will get done eventually.
Huh. So that's the secret to happiness.
I suppose. But it's not nearly as philosophical as you make it sound.
No, it's perfect. I feel like I don't quite fit in with other people. So in situations like this, where I have to talk to someone, I panic a little. Please, teach me how to be as calm and collected as you are.
Honestly, Ignaz, you're making this out to be much bigger than it is. I mostly just don't pay attention. Being like me is more trouble than it's worth.
But you always seem so happy. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize. Come on, let's head to the training grounds. I may slow you down, though.
All right. You don't have to rush. But I'm going to anyway. See you there.
Goodness, don't strain yourself.
To be honest, oh my, this is lovely.
Did anything else? Is this for me? It's so nice. Did anything else? Did anything?
Sorry? It'll go constant as the lid, but if it works. Oh, I was looking for this.
I can't even... Hey, I've been looking for that. How'd you know?
Long ago, is that... No, if that... You don't act... Yes, this is mine. Thank you for returning it.
Let me I hear she's the... Ah, thank you for bringing me this.
Oh, I was just haven't made clearing out. Oh, this is mine. I thought it had vanished. Thanks.
I thought Yeah, that's definitely mine. You really saved me with this. I owe you one, Professor.
So sorry. It's so... I've been looking for this. Thank you so much.
Yes?
Professor, hair that... I had lost the place of this. You have my thanks.
To be honest. Oh!
Your hair! Hey! That's mine! Thank you for finding it!
Hey, you. Professor. But she wants whenever it has... Oh, that is mine! Thank you so very much.
People, is Fodlan's... Thanks. How did you know this was mine?
Hey, Alot! Thanks for...
People, is Fodlan's... Thanks. I appreciate it.
Right. Professor?
Whoa, I like the way it looks. This is from... This is from...
A moment, please.
Excuse me. Furthermore, I am... Oh, I adore... Oh. 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 Furthermore, I am... I appreciate... Furthermore, I am... I appreciate... Hello there. I've been waiting for you. If you would, please allow me a closer look at your face. Those beautiful shining eyes, and silken hair so similar to my own. Oh dear, please excuse my rudeness. I forgot myself for a moment. It is only that we haven't had a chance to speak privately since you were blessed with the power of the goddess. I hope I have not caused you any discomfort. In that case, I hope you will allow me to behold your sweet face again in the future. It is my dearest wish that we may strengthen the bonds between us further still. Yes, as souls blessed by a connection to the progenitor god, the bonds between us are truly unbreakable. Just as the goddess blessed you with her own power, I too received her divine protection long, long ago. Though different, our fates are entwined. You say that now, but I am certain there is much you still wish to know. To that end, know that truth has a way of revealing itself in time. If you experience any further changes, please know that you can rely on me to guide you. Sedith and Flayn are also here to support you however they can. Dear child, may the goddess protect you always.
Oh. This isn't so...
Tell me something. Makes sense to me.
Hey there, Professor.
With you, I can...
With the two of us, there is nothing to worry about. It is done.
My efforts have borne...
I think I get it now. It's fun when you know what you're doing.
I think it's coming along.
Oh yeah, getting the hang of it. I work to grow.
This isn't...